Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. It's Tuesday. It's June 20th. This will be our chart lesson for the day. Nice downtrend today. It started out pretty steep in the overnight, and then we kind of flattened out here. Generally, you would look for a little more correction than this before the next leg down, but it didn't happen today. So still kind of followed. Once we're this late in the trading morning and we're still going down, what's this, 9 o'clock or so? That's a good chance that it's probably going to be a trend day. Be the same thing if it was out the upper side, but measure this leg and look for at least a measured leg down when we started back down. I'd say right here, and you can see we got a little bit lower than that, not by much, but that would have been a great target. And once we started lower here and continued lower, that would have been my target. That just as I showed you there. So, and if you'd have used that for a target and exited a few ticks in front of that, you could have ridden it all the way down. And if you found the channel here, once we continued lower here, I would have expected prices to probably try to reach this lower part of the trend channel line. So, not a lot of trades today, but just about every one of them that were there that were good for multiple points. So first trade though I saw was here. This one's a little iffy because it's just a first entry. You've also got a little trend channel line here I don't have drawn on there. So, but it's right off a key entry point. There is enough room to get out here. Fairly bearish bar right there. So you might have risked that one. You're generally better off to wait on the lower high, which comes here. So, and then this is the second entry short. Notice the new low, first entry, pullback, second entry. This is congestion here, so this is also a little failed break out of congestion. It's a turn down second entry off the EMA. It's another test of this high here, so it's basically a double top. Very bearish bar. Lots of reasons to like that one. And that one, it takes it a second to get started, but that one rockets on down for two legs down to a new low after the break. So now you're probably going to get a correction, maybe a reversal. Since we're trading down late into the regular session, or I shouldn't say late, but on into the regular session, then you're probably just going to get a correction and then another leg down. And so you might have noticed there's a little, notice you got this. Let me make this slightly larger for you here. But notice this is why you don't go short into the lows. Notice it breaks lower there, turns, it goes up, big bullish reversal type bar. A good bit away from the EMA. We've had a close outside, two legs down to a new low. I'm gonna tell you, I love these kind of trades. It's risky, but you do have a little double bottom. You got all the things I just talked about. You're probably coming back to the EMA at a minimum, and we may come back and test these highs up here again. You don't really have this other channel in play yet, although you probably would have drawn this trend line just to be watching for it. But I like this trade. Quick, easy scalp. You could have gotten a runner out of that for a few points if you liked. And there's a second entry short here, but we've already had a close and two legs down to a new low. And this is not a perfect signal bar. So this one would be a little risky, but you do have a little trend line, a close outside, a move to a new high. It is a second entry short. It has been a downtrend. So there's some reasons to consider that one, but all the same, I think you're better off skipping it. And notice what happens here. You push lower, you pull back, and you get a little trap here. There's really, you really could treat this almost like this is not quite a double bottom because this is a lower low. So it looks like you're going to reverse and head lower again, but everything's in place for a correction or a reversal. So, and there's no short here, so you can't go short. That's too bullish of a bar, and you don't want to go use this for a signal bar now that you got a little double bottom in place, and really, you got almost three times you bounced at that level. So, but if you notice, but when it fails to go lower, you've got a trap and you've really got a second entry long here. Notice this is a new high, pullback first entry, pullback second entry, and it's off a double bottom. Um, at this point, I would be looking for another leg up like this one right here. There's two legs in that leg, but it's still probably a one leg. And you can see we missed that one maybe by a tick, but that's because the trend line's there and prices are struggling to get through that trend line. But that would have been a nice target on that one. And when you come back up here and you get this second entry short right off the confirmation of that trend line, I like this one, a bearish bar. It didn't close on its very low. It was ticking back and forth, so it could have easily, maybe on your chart, it did close on its low. But notice this is a double bottom, so that's basically a new low. You move up first entry, you move up second entry. That's a second entry short, confirmation of the trend line. So we've really got what it looks like a spiking channel on a bigger pattern here. And this is just a two-tiered channel working lower. So I like that one. You're moving down. You actually get a failed second entry long here, but you've moved too far to the downside. You don't want to take that one that far down. You hadn't even got back to the EMA. It's just not a very good spot to be. There's been too much movement to the downside. You need a little bigger correction. So notice what happens. It bounces and comes back, and it gives you another chance to enter right at the lower high, basically from this. But there's a double top there. There's really kind of a triple top there. Or you could actually treat that like a failed break higher above the double top. Notice that double top right there. And you get that little failed break higher. So plenty of room to get out before there. It runs down. There's actually another chance to get in there, but you're going short right into a triple bottom there. This is looking like a trading range. You're better off to wait on your reversal pattern. And notice what happens. You got that new high, then you get a first entry, you pull back, and you get a failed second entry long, but that's a pullback to test that breakout. And it holds its resistance now. So now we're probably headed down to the other trend line. And so I like that one. You got to be careful on breakout pullbacks, but this is a downtrend, and this is just a temporary trading range within a downtrend. So it's a little different than if it was a trading range kind of day. And it did go higher first and turn it down and go out the other side. You could have actually had a stop there or even placed one there. You are going short at the low of the day. That's always suspect, but at this point, you're looking for that next leg down that I talked about earlier and showed you the measured move for this first leg. And so you want to try to catch one of these major highs and see if you can't ride it all the way down. This one's good for a fairly nice move, but you don't really get an extended move on it. So then you bounce. You really don't want to be looking for longs here. Your failed second entry short didn't trigger till right here, and that's right back into the high plus right back into the trend line. So you just can't go long right in there. And so just wait on another short, and you get that. You finally turn down off the trend line here, and you did get an overshoot. You don't really have a break. This is the first close outside, so you may get a retest attempt. But when you make a lower high here, I pretty much, and that's really another double test of this high right here. So you can see that little double top or that high, then you test it once, twice. So, and it's a lower high. So I like going short right there. And this turns out to be a pretty good move. And once again, you probably didn't get a long-term runner because notice how it comes. It's just how efficient the ES is. This thing is so efficient. It knows where people put those break-even stops and things, and it comes back. But that took you into the 2 o'clock hour, so you really didn't get another chance to enter. Notice this move up, close outside, move to a new high. You didn't quite get back to the trend line, but we still haven't made it to the lower side. So that probably would have been worth risking there. And notice what happens. You get a little bounce off the EMA, pull back, And then you get your reversal pattern here. That would have been a nice place to go short just to try to get that last push down to this line here. But that's after 2 o'clock, so I'm not going to mark it. But just to show you that it's there and the patterns are still there even after, you know, and guess where we bounce? Right down here at the lower trend channel line. It tries to go lower a couple of times and then reverses. And that would have been a nice long right there on that failed second entry short. Quick, easy move back. So nice downtrend today. Not a lot of trades, but the ones that were there were relatively straightforward. The part that takes a little while to understand is that, you know, you got to be able to see quickly that the fact that we've traded down all morning and into the regular session, that this is probably going to be a trend day, because generally you would have bounced by now and be still trading within the overnight highs and lows if you're going to have a range day. Doesn't mean you can't get a reversal day on a day like this. You might trade down for a while and then get a reversal and then start trading the other direction. But this is just like a spike and a channel down, and there's a little spike, a little channel here and the spike down. So it's just a larger pattern of a spiking channel is what it is. So but yeah, that's pretty much, and you can see we got a little bit above the EMA a few times, but for the most part the EMA is pointing down all day long. So once you found this channel here, I wouldn't be looking for any longs. Notice I have a few in here because we've already met our criteria here on this channel coming down, and so we're probably going to get some sideways, you know, a correction, which just means it could be just sideways action, and that's what we got. We went sideways for, well, this started right around 9, and we went sideways until we really didn't start going lower again until right here. So that's almost 2 hours of sideways action, and that's about what you would expect. And then you got your channel going lower. But you should have known this trend line was valid on this third touch about right here. So that was by 10 o'clock. So anyway, that's about it for today. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.